Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm all right. How about you?
I'm fine. How's your day going?
Everything is good. And you?
Yeah, fine, fine. So you can just start by telling us your name.
Okay, so yeah, Divine Erhomonsele, and yeah, I'm a software engineering student, and I was the one who created the Didi AI.
Now it's Didi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So where do you stay?
But currently, I live in the UK.
That's nice. Okay. Can you just tell us how you get started with tech? Like when do
But
you
like I
start
said,
coding?
wait, that's a really interesting question. To be very honest, I got started in tech when I was 13 actually, and then it wasn't like the normal way or the conventional way of most people getting in, maybe via school or something. Just got in because I think I met someone who knew how to code HTML. He didn't even know how to code it. He just showed me some things, and we're just learning together really. And then that was just how I got in. So at that time, there was really it wasn't like it was shown to me by a teacher or something. It was just family member, a cousin actually, and that was really how I got started in tech. And then I created my first websites when I was 13 too. And yeah, since then I've been trying to learn more, still learning code for like a really long time now.
Yeah.
That's like 7 years ago.
That's a way long. Playing 13.
Really, really long. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Do you have any career in mind before you enjoy the tech? Like, do you have anything in mind like you want to do before you say you venture into coding then?
Yeah, of course. Well, before I started coding, I always wanted to become an engineer. I was already like, making like my own toys, made my own like cars, like cars with motor batteries and stuff like that. So I always wanted to be an engineer. But when I started coding, it even made it easier. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I should focus more on like software engineering. So I've always wanted to be a software engineer for like a very long time now.
Okay, that's cool. You okay? It's like I still guess the same part, this engineering stuff you wanted to be, and
Exactly.
it's
Exactly. At least I was going to be making sense.
it's the same part, yeah. So like the difference is just hardware and software.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's nice. So how many years have you been doing this stuff, this coding now?
Well, coding, I started coding when I was 13, so that should be like around 7 to 8 years now I've been coding. And then not just that, it's like that's how long I've really been in tech because I mean I didn't just start and then just end there. I've been learning like a lot of things to stay ahead of the curve.
Oh wow, super cool. 27 years ago. Wow. You must have gathered enough experience, like for real.
Well, literally every day we still keep on learning because the way the thing works in the tech industry, whatever is trending today may be obsolete tomorrow, and something else, something no one even thought about, still that's going to be trending tomorrow. That's just how it is.
Wow, that's
It's so
super.
easy to lose focus. It's so easy to fall off.
Yeah. It's not for the weak.
Exactly.
So how did you learn? How was the training? Like you attended maybe a boot camp or
No, I never did. Well, the thing is, okay, back then, I would say like 7, 8 years ago, the internet, like as it is today, wasn't the way it was back then. Learning how to program today wasn't the way it was back then because, really, anybody who was going to learn, well, there was Stack Overflow, yes, but like there were not so much tutorials as much as now. Most modern frameworks that we have today, we're still trying to gain a lot of popularity back then. We're still trying to gain adoption. Very many people haven't started using like even Node.js. Though Node.js has always been there, but like the adoption wasn't really there. Most people would not even use like I don't know if you know anything about MVC or MVT
yeah.
model of controllers. Most people would just code their stuff straight up out of the box, like using PHP. So the internet was like a lot different back then. So learning really was, I'd say it was quite tough because I just feel like maybe because I had like the passion for it, And a lot of times I didn't have like any like teacher I could go meet or like any person like, oh, I got stuck trying to do this. Could you help me out? Because back then I was still in secondary school and that was not the priority for anybody at that point in time. I totally understood that. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That it's not like now that, oh, we're in the university and then I could just go meet someone like, oh, I think I'm lost here. How do I fix this? Well, like back then, if you're lost, you're lost. You're just gonna have to figure it out because I didn't really like know anybody who was gonna push me through. Yeah, you could say I was self-taught for at least for a couple of years before I got into the university. And now getting into the university has showed me a lot because I've learned a lot that all those things I used to do like back then. Yeah, now I understand why I'm doing them because a lot of times it's just easy to just copy code from the internet and paste them. But getting into the university, I understood why I was copying those things, the exact like things that those codes do. I now understand them and to a very good extent.
And the way they work actually.
Exactly the way they work at the back. So I have a clear understanding of what I'm doing, like software engineering patterns and designs.
Yeah. So now, what keep you going in tech? Is it the passion you have then, or you just or money? Because I guess there's a lot of money in tech. What
Okay.
helps you going?
Okay, so that question over the years has a lot of answers. I mean, the answer I had when I was 13 is different from the answer I had when I was 16, and it's different from the answer I have right now. So when I was 13, really, well, I have one common answer for all of them actually. When I was 13, one of the things that really, like, made me passionate about technology was, well, I could say, yeah, I drew a lot of inspiration from how technology could just make me feel, I don't want to use the word powerful, but could make me do things that I knew nobody else could do. You understand? That was then,
Yeah.
like really young. Yeah. So, and then at 16, of course, at some point at 16, like in SS3, you're used to like the Nigerian system of schooling. Like, you understand that at that point, you're going to have to choose exactly what you want to do. You
Yeah.
understand? I had like I had like some kind of knowledge on how to do this thing. I just found myself building stuff. You understand? A lot of people when it come many since they had like various ambitions, I knew this was what I wanted to do. I won't say it was because of the money back then, because back then I was still like living with my parents. Money wasn't like my thing to like figure out, you understand?
Yeah.
Now yeah, now I'm starting to put everything together. Put the passion, the money, everything together combined makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. 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 I get. I
Exactly.
understand.
Exactly. So yeah,
Yes.
I mean, living in today's like world, understanding that technology is kind of like the age we live in right now. We live in like the tech age, and you know that that comes with a lot of reward, just understanding how tech works. So yeah, everything together.
What were some challenges you faced, and can possibly tell us how you overcome them?
Okay, so one of the challenge I faced while programming, especially like from a very early age, I think I said this earlier, yeah, was the fact that I couldn't learn much as fast as I wanted to because I didn't have like so much resources available at that time.
Yeah. Of
Exactly.
course.
But that has changed a lot now. So that used to be my problem then, but like I won't say it's my problem right now. So because of that, yeah, like if I wanted to learn anything, I won't say I learned it the hard way, but I would say I learned it like from an unprofessional standpoint. You understand?
Yes. Yes.
I won't say I learned it the best way. Of course, I ended up knowing it, but maybe there were steps I missed along the way that if I'd taken those steps, I would have gotten a better understanding of it. But sometimes because you don't know, like, oh, do I even start from point A or do I start from point B? However it works. So back then, that was just the only challenge I had. And one thing about me is that I kind of always like to look at things like, oh, what's the best way to which I can implement this? Like I know if there is like 10 different ways, then there have to be a good way. Even if none of them is like, you can't say this is the best, but there has to be like a more professional approach to trying to solve a problem. And trying to be a self-taught developer, you're going to have to play lots in order to find out and trying to just do a lot of research. So, well, the challenge I had, I mean, I used it to learn a new skill called researching. That's a technical skill I feel people don't talk about so much.
Yeah. 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 Making research before doing stuff.
Mhm. Exactly.
Okay. Okay. That's nice. So, what's your tech stack?
That's a lot, a lot. My tech stack currently, I've used a lot of tech stack over the years, and I can't even say anyone is my preference right now. Because most of the ones I started with, I don't use them now, but I can still use them if I need to use them, depending on the requirements of any project I'm working on. And yeah, I use Python, I use JavaScript. Didi is built on JavaScript, completely on JavaScript. I use Node.js, of course, and then inside Node.js, I use React, I use Vue. I also use the frameworks inside React and Vue, that's Next and Next. And then coming out of that, I also do some Express as well, Express.js. And then in Python, I use Flask, I use Django. Inside Django, I also use the REST framework too. So, and then again, I also use PHP. I started out with PHP too back in the days. I know how hard it took me to figure out how server-side programming works, like back in the days anyway. So I also do a lot of PHP. I do a lot of C sharp. That's ASP.NET. I do a lot of I just do most front end, back end, full stack development. I also do DevOps too. Yeah, cloud in AWS, Microsoft, Azure, Cloudflare. I do a lot of them as well. And then yeah, I think like right now I could like use so many things that I just can't say. Oh, you know what? This is exactly my preferred stack. But for certain projects, depending on the requirements, I can really fluent any stack. Yeah, I give you my personal favorites though. Like if there are no requirements, one I will use for again, it's just my favorites for backend. It's Django. Front end is React.js. If you had asked me this time, like if you had asked me this question this time last year, I've chosen Vue. And I think I like React.
Yeah. I also like that.
Okay.
So, do you have a mentor or someone like you're looking up to? A mentor?
Well, a mentor in like I'm going to classify that. So in tech, like in programming
Yeah,
general.
maybe a tech mentor or general or role model, someone you look up to.
Yeah. I guess you like I mean for tech mentor, a programmer, I won't say I have a tech programmer mentor or something like that. But rather when you want to look at it in tech in general, including the business side of things, yes, I do have a mentor. And I think my number one mentor currently, well, not currently, ever since has been, or rather, I won't say mentor, a role model, someone I just, really like, is Mark Zuckerberg. Ever since I started programming, in fact, that was what motivated me to like start programming in the first place. Someone told me about his story, how he created like Facebook as a student and stuff like that. And then I told about it, like, if this guy could do this thing, though he did that in uni, I was trying to do mine in secondary school, there was a difference. Like, if he could do it, I mean, maybe I could do it too. So there was this level of ignorance thinking that I can just wake up and be normal. But like I tried to build my own social media when I was 13. That was like the first thing I was trying to build. That's what even got me to like start coding in the first place. And then seeing how like he like dealt with a lot of challenges and then understanding that oh, you know what, I could actually do this thing. So that's in fact started my journey into this whole tech career thing. And over the years I've learned more about like tech and entrepreneurship, more about other people like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and someone like people don't even talk about like Tim Berners-Lee, one of the people who made the internet HTML. And then yeah, there are a lot of people. Yeah, really, I do look up to in the tech business space too.
Oh, yeah. That's nice. Super. That's cool. So, moving on, do you have some cool projects you like some of your projects you can talk about?
Yeah, I've worked on various things in the past, really. I've created like a book website where you could just search for books and then download them. I've also created a cloud storage platform, kind of works like Dropbox, really. A couple of my friends and I created that. I don't know if you're aware of one of these anonymous messaging platforms.
Yeah. It's somehow
Exactly.
rampant on WhatsApp.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. So in 2020 I also created one as well. I'll go like a lot of like users and things like that. Yeah. So I've created like a lot of things. I can't remember like everything right now.
But do you have a favorite project?
Yeah, having a favorite project, I can say that that comes with a lot of, let me classify that here. So there is favorite in terms of technical favorites, and then there's favorite in terms of like which one actually like blew up really, which one actually became like so popular. So in terms of like the one that I feel was my technical favorite in terms of popularity, high vibes, like the most popular generally, the one that really blew up was the book websites. That one go like over 100,000, like massive, and so it may not have like much churn, like people will come over and over again. So yeah, but like again, technically that was one of my worst projects. You understand? Because the codes I used there was like never again, never going to like implement anything like that again. But technically, one of my best projects was the cloud storage project because what I did, like the level of programming and the level of software engineering that went into that project was really like I could say it was professional to a very good level. A couple of my friends and I decided to do that project and also like increase our like, or rather boost our CV project and stuff like that. Even till today, many of these friends are already like they already work in the industry and sometimes we do come back to to the source code for that project, yeah, just to actually like take one or two things that we have implemented before and then use them in any project we're working on. You understand? That was how technically buoyant that project was.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so do you have some live link? Someone working this store want to check it out. Like if I want to check the project out, you mentioned like the Dropbox look like project and the book reading.
Oh yeah, for most of them, yeah, they were live like I think in 2020, 2021. But like right now, I just moved most of them offline because I mean sometimes you have to pay for the servers and things like that. Well, you could access most of these codes on my own GitHub page. Really, like everything is right there on the GitHub. Like these are we're not intended to be like companies, so like we don't keep them live for so long. Didi AI, well, it depends on how many people use it. I'm gonna keep it live for like quite a long number of time. But like outside that, I'm not too sure.
Okay, yeah. So do you have any startup you are building or any projects like
No,
something big?
I'm not currently building any startup. I'm trying to focus on school. I'm a full-time student. It's not easy.
Okay, yeah, I understand. It's not easy to
Exactly.
juggle stuff like that.
Exactly. Because I mean, startup requires both.
Yeah, so do you prefer front end or back end when it comes to like preference?
None. I prefer all of them as it is. I can do any of them. Like how easy I'll do it. Oh, well, now I won't like choose like I prefer front end to back end or back end to front end. That just depends on the team I'm working with at that current point in time. If maybe the team have a good like front end team, I might as well just do back end, or they want to like focus on back end, I might as well do the front end. But like other than preference, no, not really. I do like both of them really well.
I get now. That's you are full stack, so you can do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's say you're given a project and you are working as a front end developer on a scale of 1 to 10. How good are you in converting design to code?
I don't want to like brag so much, but like do that like really well. I mean, I've had a lot of time to learn how to use CSS. You understand? So that's really not like my issue.
You're not picking any value out of the 1 to 10.
Okay, I don't want to like brag too much, but okay, let's say 10. That's what I say.
Wow. Because you must be good because that's very long. So you'll have gathered enough experience. Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's just one of those things that like most devs just have to know how to do.
Yeah, yes, but some people, some full stack developer might not be very good on front end. Like they might prefer back end. They might better back end and better front end. So
Yeah, that's totally fine. Anyone that like anybody really wants to face, that's fine. I feel like one of the reasons why I could do full stack now is because I maybe started like a long time ago. If I started like when like most people started in uni, maybe I would have probably focused on just one. I had like time to learn both. So
nice, that's cool. Yeah. So how do you manage lifestyle, school, and family with coding? Like how do you juggle everything together?
well, the thing is, for me, coding has been like part of the things I do on like it has been like part of those things I do like for myself. You understand? So juggling it alongside, it's not like it's work for me. No, it's part of my lifestyle. You understand? Of course, I do other things too. I go out as well, and then sometimes I do like a lot of other things. but coding is still part of those things I do. So it's not like I'm struggling to code alongside cope with school and all of that. Currently studying software engineering. I literally code in school now, so
Yeah, I get. So how do you convince your parents about coding when you started them?
that didn't happen. Well, I mean, they supported me like all through, but like convincing them that this is. Well, I never really convinced them. They were not convinced, but that one, the only way I could convince them was show them that I still am I'm a serious student and still passing. That's the only way my laptop or phone didn't get seized. So how I convinced them, I don't think that happened. Well, right now, yes, because I'm studying software engineering, but like back then, no, there was no convincing.
Yeah,
I mean, they supported me like all the way through. Like, so far, I wasn't really a struggling student, so that was kind of like okay, you know what? I'm not bringing bad grades home, so they didn't need to like try to take my laptop from me. You understand?
I understand.
Next time I use my
Oh,
laptop. So far, like everything was going well. Okay, but I mean, there were sometimes like, oh, if you're using your laptop so much, you should drop it and all that. But at
yeah,
least they supported me all the way, and that was really the thing I really appreciate about them.
I understand, but there's some stream or like flow of people that just complain about parents complaining about them coding. Like they can't well, like
Yeah, I totally do understand that. I remember, not even like even up until recently, before I left the home, I will be coding for a long time, even at night, and my parents didn't really like that. So there are some things I don't understand, and now I see why they were complaining. Like, why would I be like coding at night? Even now, I still do it, but like I try to like keep a good habit of sleeping on time. You understand? Like they're just trying to help us really. Like now I understand. Back then I did not understand. You
yeah,
get what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Exactly. Sometimes they're just trying to help, really.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so is there really money in tech?
I will leave that question to you because me, I know. I feel like everybody have their own eyes. I can see my own money.
Okay.
I don't know about other people, but me, I can see my own right there. So, like, I mean, we live in the age where tech rules everything, and you know that in this life, what you do is like the value of what you do is rewarded by is rewarded by the market. Thinking about it, that we live in a tech space. Understand that the value of what you're going to add to the economy is going to be heavily rewarded. You understand? So if there's money in tech, that's up to you.
Yeah,
From
with the flow, I think there's money in tech because even AI and stuff like that. Yeah. So moving
yeah.
on, can you just tell us about the AI?
Okay. So again, DDAI is just I believe we all like have heard about the trend ChatGPT.
Yeah. It's super cool.
Exactly. So yeah. So ChatGPT is chat generative pre-trained transformers basically, and apparently what this does is like it takes on models like trained large language models and then tries to learn from it and then generate its own text out of it. You understand?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's built on the open AI infrastructure. Apparently, that is the same infrastructure that Didi AI uses as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So what Didi AI does, it's supposed to be like something really similar to ChatGPT. You understand, right? So looking at it, it's something that I feel like in this current world, in this current age, we understood like in 2000, from the year 2000 to 2010 or 15, we saw how the web changed the world, right? And
Yeah.
now, like how the internet changed the world using Web 2.0, now I feel like things are going to also happen this time around. It's AI on the internet. You understand? So I feel for the next, like, I may be wrong though, because I mean, it's not possible to predict the future. That's one thing we've learned. But one thing I can see currently is that for the next maybe 15 to 20 years, AI is going to be the dominant force, just the same way the web, or rather Web 2.0 was the dominant force for like the past 20 years. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I feel like right now, many businesses will be incorporating AI to how they work, how they do things, just the same way like for the past 20 years we've been incorporating the like internet and Web 2.0 like applications in how we work.
Yeah. So can you really tell us? Okay, I think that's enough to know about the DI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you have anything to do outside tech?
Outside tech, yeah, I still do like a couple of things. I'm into music, well, not like a musician. I listen to a lot of music. I mean, that's a real thing. And like, I also like do a lot of sports, and yeah, also like hang out around like a lot of times to go out. Yeah, that's really what I do. But I mean, right now, yeah, I do a lot of things. But like right now, I feel like tech is like one of the major things I do. But at the same time, I still have like a way to like limit it. To, like, oh, tech is not my only thing. Really.
Okay, do you like football?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So who is your football coach?
Well, I mean, that's a very personal question. And then if you ask me, I believe two good can exist because, okay, I've always been a Messi fan because that's why I really admire Messi. I'm a big fan of Messi, but at the same time, so I also respect Ronaldo a lot. Simply because those two have done things that I don't think any other footballer can do or have done yet.
Yeah. They are both good in their own way.
Yes.
So do you have any advice for people that are getting started in tech, people that are coming up or coming techies?
Oh, yeah, of course. One thing I can only say is keep on learning and try as much as possible to learn the best way possible. Yeah.
Is that a summary of everything?
Well, exactly, because I mean, it's one thing to learn, it's another thing to learn the right thing, because you could learn the absolutely wrong thing.
Yeah,
You
okay.
understand? And you could spend a lot of time doing that.
Yeah. So do you have a way people can reach out to you if after seeing this video and
Oh yeah, yeah,
they
of
want to?
course. For Didi, yeah, I mean, it would be very okay if people like try to send like feedback, support feedback. That would be nice. You can always reach out to me on Twitter. I think I should actually add my Twitter handle to it so people can actually see that and reach out. My Twitter is divine_ero.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get the link and add it to the description. Well,
Uh,
I think that's a very good time with you.
okay, thank you very much. Oh, I guess that's maybe this explanation. But let's see how that works.
Yeah. So it's doing spell check too.
Well, I mean, it's gonna have to figure out like, okay, this is a wrong spelling or something, and it's going to like find a way to go around that, just the same way Google does work too.
This is nice. Like even the impulse type is checking for spell check.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, that's it really.
This is nice
Okay.
actually. You can just add
Right.
some features to.
Yeah, I was thinking like just before we started this interview, I was trying to work on a future to convert, the text to speech really.
Wow, that would be massive. Text
Yeah.
to speech. Yeah, I've seen someone implementing it. But
Yeah, I feel like at some point, this AI thing really, next couple of years, we're going to be seeing like really creative, innovative solutions and even viable business models coming out from like, artificial intelligence and the markets. Yeah,
because
I mean, artificial intelligence is one of the best things like, we've like tried to, create like in the entire computer industry really. And I feel this is one of the best times for it to come out because the whole idea of computing in the first place was to assist man. So how best can you assist man if not through artificial intelligence?
yeah.
You understand? So this is kind of like the peak of why computers existed in the first place. But rather we're just about entering that peak.
Yeah. So do you think AI is going to take over developers' jobs soon?
That's a very tricky question. Would I say developers' jobs? I won't say developers' jobs just like that, but hear me out first. Uh, I feel it's going to like, AI won't take anybody's job, first of all, but people who use AI will take other people's job. You understand?
People who use
So,
AI will take over people that doesn't use AI.
exactly. So, it's kind of like, I mean, this is not the first time this is happening. I mean, this may be the first time it's happening with artificial intelligence, but this is not the first time it's happening in general. Like, look at the Web 2.0. When it came out, was just a lot of, like, it was just easier to like incorporate some of these tools into like our work experience. You understand what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So, take an example here. Let's say a marketer, basically in the 1990s, would have to, do a lot of posters, a lot of ads, a lot of TV shows, and all of that just to get people to use their products, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But fast forward to like early 2000s and then 2010, 2014, 15, somewhere around that. This same marketer, if he or she wants to get his product out, again, depending on the product, will almost want to start with social media, or rather, a huge part of their marketing would be on social media, again, depending on the product. So you see how this thing makes it a lot easier, you understand, to work with,
Yeah.
right? Of course, some jobs are going to be cut. Like it's kind of how every market change works. It's right from like the 1900s, it's just how it works. So it's the same thing that's also going to happen here. A lot of jobs will be cut off. Yeah, that's true. But like new ones are going to be created in the first place, and then people who know how to leverage on this resource, this technology, will be heavily rewarded by a lot more effective work.
Yeah. So do you see Web3 as a trend, like this AI stuff and Web3? Do you see it as a trend, like just like trend that will
Well,
just come
for
and go?
Web3, I feel it's too early for me to answer that because currently, I feel currently Web3 has a use case that's just not beneficial for all yet. I feel it will get there at some point. But currently, right now in 2023, as we're having this conversation, it's not there yet. For artificial intelligence, it's starting to show up like, at its real, it's real value for human beings. So I feel maybe yeah, artificial intelligence will start and for Web 3.0. No, we're not sure yet. We believe it will become something, but right now we're just not sure yet.
Yeah, okay. Because I've had a lot of people saying the way the Web3 is just a trend, it just come and goes. Well, no one can actually decide the future.
Yeah, but like I mean, to get something to stay, really, it all comes down to like use case. It all comes down to how does this help the common man? You understand? Like there's nothing technical about that. It's just how does this help the common man?
Yeah,
You understand?
but I see
So
AI
if
still because AI has been like existing for long. Even the OpenAI Twitter account has been long. When I checked it, it's around 2015.
yeah, they've been a
Yeah,
company
yeah.
for quite a long time, created by
They also
someone
did
fun.
doing a lot of stuff out shipping. But I think AI will just come and stay.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that's all for today. Yeah. So
Okay,
thanks for your time.
that's fine. Are you welcome?
Welcome.
All
So
right.
do you have any like advice or anything you just want to tell us before?
Well, the only advice, I mean, keep on learning. That's just all I can say. Even for me to keep on learning and also document the process because you're going to be like, oh, I wonder how many people are really willing to support you.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you so much for your time. So
Okay, you're welcome.
see you soon again.
All right, no problem.
Alright, waiting
Okay,
bigger projects.
of course, of course.
So
Okay, yeah. Have a nice day.
thank you.
All right,
Enjoy your code.
no problem. Thank you.